Hey there, this is Ray Higdon, and welcome to week number 3 of the Get Rich Blueprint. This is where I am diving into the powerful training from Mr. Wallace Wattles out of the Science of Getting Rich. And so each week we're tackling a chapter, and I'm giving you some assignments. And this is something that one of the most credited books in history for people amassing their fortune, and so we're getting into some heavy stuff here. So chapter number 3, and by the way, are you doing the assignments? You know, I really liked some of your responses to last week's assignment. Very powerful, very challenging for some, and understand that however you're showing up with this homework and the assignment is probably how you're showing up in life. And so if you're skipping it, if you're not doing it, or if you're half-heartedly doing it, that may be why you don't have the results in your life that you're wanting. And so, you know, these are put together in order for a reason, and these assignments are designed to help you, not me, but help you achieve the life of your dreams. So chapter number 3 is opportunity monopolized. Understand that no one is kept poor because opportunity has been taken away from them, because other people have monopolized the wealth and have put a fence around it. You may be shut off from engaging in business in certain lines, but there are always other channels open to you. Let's take a look at my example. You know, me personally, I had done very well in real estate, and you know, the way that I did real estate, it made for it very tough to do in the changed economy. You know, when the market crashed, I only was dealing with real estate investors who got financing, and when the financing for real estate investors became almost impossible, my model of business, well, it changed. It greatly altered. Now, are there people making money in real estate? There are, right? But understand, that other channels opened up for me, like network marketing. You know, so I decided to make my career in network marketing go a little bit different path. And, you know, in my opinion, network marketing is something that stands the test of time in any kind of economy. And so that's one thing that I'm grateful that the real estate market changed. But understand that you're just never, you may be shut off in certain lines. Maybe in whatever occupation that you're in, maybe it's a dying occupation or it's going away. There are other channels open to you that you can always take advantage of. Understand that at different periods, the tide of opportunity sets in different directions, according to the needs of the whole, the needs of the market, and the particular stage of social evolution which has been reached. There is abundance of opportunity for the person who will go with the tide instead of trying to swim against it. So the factory workers, either as individuals or as a class, are not deprived of opportunity. They're not being kept down by their masters. They're not being ground by the trusts and combinations of capital. As a class, understand this, okay? As a class, they are where they are because they do not do things in a certain way. And I want you to, identify who are some people in your life that have more talent, more intelligence, more charisma, more chutzpah, more whatever than what is demonstrated in their life as far as results, as far as lifestyle, relationships, etc. Well, it's because they do not do things in a certain way. You see, in this Get Rich Blueprint, this 17-week course, you are learning how to do things in a certain way that will guarantee you change your life. Now, understand that the working class may become the master class whenever they begin to do things in a certain way. The law of wealth is the same for them as it is for all others. This everyone must learn, and they will remain where they are as long as they continue to do as they do. Isn't that powerful? So many people, they're wanting something for nothing. They're wanting, they don't understand that there's a trade-off. You have to exchange something you are doing differently. You have to change to get something differently in your life. The individual worker, however, is not held down by the ignorance or the mental slothfulness of their class, they can follow the tide of opportunity to riches, and this course is going to tell you exactly how. So understand that no one is kept in poverty by a shortness in the supply of riches. There is more than enough for all. And this is a concept you're going to hear repeated over and over throughout this course. A palace as large as the Capitol at Washington might be built for every single family on planet Earth from the building material in the United States alone. The visible supply is practically inexhaustible, and the invisible supply really is inexhaustible. And here comes a key concept for you to grasp. And some of you may resist some of the things that we're going to cover in this course, especially what I'm about to get into. You may resist it, but my encouragement to you is to suspend your disbelief. Suspend your disbelief and understand the core of what this message is saying. Because if you grasp onto this core, if you grasp onto this truth, and you suspend your disbelief, you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do. I realized actually here, fairly recently, that I'm able to accomplish whatever I want to accomplish. And part of that is the knowledge that I'm able to accomplish it. Part of it is because I have accepted that that I can make things out of thin air. And it's not really thin air, it's the substance that I'm going to be talking to you here about. Understand that everything you see on earth is made from one original substance, out of which all things proceed. New forms are constantly being made, and older ones are dissolving, but all are shapes assumed by one thing. There's no limit to the supply of formless stuff or original substance. And here, Mr. Wattles is talking about as a substance. Some would argue that what he's referring to is actually energy. Okay? Formless energy, always there. The universe is made out of it, but it was not all used in making the universe. The spaces in, through, and between the forms of the visible universe are permeated and filled with the original substance, with the formless stuff, with the raw material of all things. 10,000 times as much has been made, might still be made. And even then, we should not have exhausted the supply of universal raw material. No one, therefore, is poor because nature is poor, or because there's not enough to go around. Understand that nature is an inexhaustible storehouse of riches. The supply will never run short. Original substance is alive with creative energy and is constantly producing more forms. When the supply of building material is exhausted, more will be produced. When the soil is exhausted, so that food and materials for clothing will no longer grow upon it, it will be renewed, or more soil will be made. When all the gold and silver has been dug from the earth, if mankind is still in such a stage of social development that they need gold and silver, more will be produced from the formless. The formless stuff responds to the needs of mankind. It will not let him or her go without any good thing. This is true of mankind collectively. The race as a whole is always abundantly rich, and if individuals are poor, it is because they do not follow the certain way of doing things which makes the individual man rich. Do you get that? It is all because of the way that a certain way of doing things. And that's what we're really going to drill in this course, is exactly how you should be doing things and how you should be thinking. And in this 17-week course, it is designed to help you overcome that and help you really reach in with your own hands and create out of the formless what it is that you want in your life. The formless stuff is intelligent. It is stuff which thinks. It is alive and is always impelled toward more life. The universe is a great living presence, always moving inherently toward more life and fuller functioning. Nature is formed for the advancement of life. Its impelling motive is the increase of life. For this cause, everything which can possibly minister to life is bountifully provided. There can be no lack unless God is to contradict himself and nullify his own works. And, maybe you're listening to this and you can consider it God, universe, energy, whatever you want to call it. But the message is so powerful. That's why I wanted to share that with you. And let me read this again. For this cause, everything which can possibly minister to life is bountifully provided. There can be no lack unless God is to contradict himself and nullify his own works. So understand that you are not kept poor by lack in the supply of riches. It is a fact, which I shall demonstrate a little further on, that even the resources of the formless supply are at the command of the man or woman who will act and think in a certain way. And so the assignment for today that I want to give to you, the assignment for this week that I want to share with you, is I want you, and part of growing in any way is identification of exactly where we need to grow. And I want you to consider and spend some time on this. I want you to write down a few different areas, maybe 3 to 5 different areas where you have allowed yourself to slip into lack. Where you have allowed yourself to slip into lack. One of the goals of this course is to have you fully embraced in the abundance by the end of this course. And so I want you to first, let's identify where you have allowed yourself to slip into lack. And let me give you some examples. If someone maybe in your network marketing company or even another network marketing company, if you have ever seen someone have massive success, they win a car, they win a check, they win a whatever, and you felt some disdain, you felt some criticism, you felt some, well, why does that person, or, good for them, but what about me, or, what about the people that need it? Any kind of disdain, any kind of criticism of someone that you identify, especially, now, careful, pay attention to this part, especially someone who is in alignment with where you want to be. Very, very powerful. If you can identify this. Now, some of you on here, I would argue maybe 5%. Maybe 5% of people are just happy for everybody. They're like, yay, good for that person. They got this and this and this. And they truly are. And I don't mean just putting on makeup or, putting on a social face and being that person. And then secretly, in the shadows of their bedroom, wishing them harm, right? I mean, very few, 1 to 5% max, actually are extremely happy for people that have massive success. And for all others, the 95 to 99% of people, there is some form of disdain, some form of criticism, some form of, why that person and not me, or, how come they get everything, or boy, it must be easy to be them. Any of that disdain, I want you to understand that is a lack mentality. That means that some of you, at least, you believe that there's only so much to go around, and this person now took something that could have possibly been yours, but is now off the table. Embrace that, okay? Own it. Own that thinking. Own that belief. Own that subconscious display of lack belief, of lack and limitation believing, okay? Own it. You see, once you own it, because you can't see, when you're driving in your car, there's certain blind spots that you just can't see. Well, as you drive through life, there are blind spots. And unless we really bring them up to the surface, you can't identify them. And if you can't identify them, you can't correct them. You can't help them. You can't, eliminate those lack and limiting beliefs. So that is one area of belief that you can use. Another one, similar. Perhaps you work for somebody. Perhaps you have a job. There are coworkers, etc. Identify a time in your life where someone got something that you felt you deserved, or someone got something that you don't feel they deserved. Someone got a raise, someone got vacation, someone got a signing bonus, someone got the corner office, someone got, fill in the blank. Identify and own that. Identify and own that belief is a lack belief. that there's only so many corner offices to go around, that there's only so much of this. And some of you may be saying, well, Ray, physically, there is only 2 corner offices or 4 corner offices. Physically, okay, I'm suggesting to you that any kind of lack or limiting belief is hurtful, is limiting, is going to have you prove that you can't have those things. So I want you to identify that. Now, I've given you a couple examples. I want you to come up with at least one other example that you have. Perhaps it was someone on TV, someone that won the lottery, someone that, just bought a brand new car. Maybe your next door neighbor. Maybe they just, I don't know, whatever, made a bunch of money or yada, yada. I want you to come up with at least 1 to 3 other examples on your own and really identify that. Identify how you felt. And identify specifically the correlation between how you felt and the belief, at least at that time and space, of lack and limitation. Little bit, these are some of these assignments, little challenging. I'm encouraging you, if we're going to help you grow, if we're going to get you to that next level, embrace these, own them, do these assignments. Okay? Now, next week, I'm really excited because we get into the first principle in the science of getting rich. And this is where we really, right now, we're sitting, basically, we're sitting in the locker room. In the next module, and next week, this is where we put on our cleats. We put on our cleats. We're getting ready to get out on there on that field because next week is the first principle in the science of getting rich, and I'm excited for you guys. So this is Ray Higdon. Please do the assignment for yourself, grow, and let's get you down that path of getting absolutely filthy rich. So Ray Higdon, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.